Now, getting straight to the point, to the big political story of the day. The Modi government's pick, the NDA's pick of Harivansh Narayan Singh, had a cakewalk being elected, you may not know, as deputy chairperson of the Rajya Sabha today. There was an election in the upper house of parliament. Harivansh secured 125 votes, while the so-called united opposition's candidate, B.K. Hariprasad of the Congress, could only manage 105 votes. The NDA's victory has only perhaps reinforced the cracks in the opposition. The Aam Aadmi Party abstained from this crucial battle, pinning the blame directly on Rahul Gandhi. The Aam Aadmi Party wanted the Congress president to reach out to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal to solicit his support, but Rahul Gandhi didn't make that call.
मानसिकता बदलनी पड़ेगी कांग्रेस को। वोट जो व्यक्ति अपनी पार्टी के लिए नहीं मांग सकता, उसकी पार्टी कैसे जीते? जो कहती है हम नरेंद्र मोदी को तो गले लगा सकते हैं, लेकिन केजरीवाल से फोन पर वोट नहीं मांग सकते।
As far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, the Delhi politics is involved there. But all our senior leaders have spoken to Aam Aadmi Party leaders, especially Kejriwal ji and Sisodia ji.
While the Congress president refused to keep his ego perhaps aside, the BJP easily won the day. It had the last laugh today by reaching out to upset allies, even disgruntled allies actually choosing to go with the government. And that brings us to the big questions we're asking this evening, ladies and gentlemen, on to the point. Can the Congress dismiss today's election as just a minor jolt? Can it be called anything else but a big embarrassment? Question number 2. Do cracks in the opposition stand embarrassingly exposed as a result of this election in the Rajya Sabha? Question number 3. Do even disgruntled allies prefer voting in favor of the government, no matter what the political rhetoric? At the end of the day, when it comes down to voting, they're still prepared to go with the government. Has Modi's floor management trumped the so-called Mahagathbandhan? Is it all just hot air and not very much substance and delivery when it comes to actual voting? And has this claimed unity of the so-called anti-Modi forces suffered a big setback? Was it just a question of ego that has completely exposed any claims of unity and any vitality of this Mahagathbandhan? Joining me live on To The Point this evening, Sambit Patra, spokesperson for the BJP, Jaiveer Shelgill, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Raghav Chadha, Aam Aadmi Party's spokesperson. Jaiveer, I want to quickly come to you first. I mean, did this all come down to ego? Did this all come down to a phone call? I mean, I'm going to ask the question to the Aam Aadmi Party as well. But, you know, what's going on? I mean, where is the unity if two parties claiming to be united by, a purpose against Narendra Modi to keep his government out, couldn't even get it together?
Shiv, 3 quick answers to that. Firstly, today's election highlights BJP's arrogance, that they sidestep the age-old convention and parliamentary tradition of not having an election for this post. They failed to achieve a consensus and a conformity with the opposition, but guess that's the difference between Atalji's BJP and Amit Shah's BJP. Point 1. Point 2. Today's 245-member election cannot act as a bellwether for a 2019 election which will be decided by 80+ crore voters. Now on Aam Aadmi Party specifically, Shiv, what phone call? Congress Party would have preferred to lose rather than stitch an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party because we have extremely diverse ideologies. Today Aam Aadmi Party's MLAs openly ask for Punjab separation from India.
But isn't that indicative, Jaiveer?
Now Congress, for the sake of winning elections, cannot stitch an alliance or hug Mr. Kejriwal. What will be the difference between BJP, PDP and BJP, JDU than the Congress Party?
Okay, but,
I'm very clear on that.
But this belies the entire ideological unity of the Mahagathbandhan. I mean, there are going to be parties that will come together which may not have the same ideology as you, but you have always said, the Congress has always said, some of these other parties have said, they're united in their common mission to get the BJP government out. So I'm going to bring that question. Sambit, of course, wants to react, but since we're talking about that phone call, the Aam Aadmi Party had made it a stipulation that Rahul Gandhi is to reach out to Kejriwal. Raghav Chadha, what would you say to the Congress Party? We don't share the ideology and therefore we would rather lose. That's what the Congress says.
Well, Well, first of all, the Aam Aadmi Party supported the candidate of the Congress Party when the president's election was taking place. 67 of our MLAs and 4 of our MPs voted for them, unsolicited, but we supported them. In the vice president's election, we supported the candidate, 66 MLAs and 4 members of parliament. They didn't seek our support, we supported them. In none of these cases, it was a basic courtesy phone call of thanking us was made. We supported them when their governments were dislodged in Uttarakhand and Arunachal because the federal structure of India was attacked.
No, but is this gesture above ideology?
But when it came to, may I respond? Now, Shiv, just let me finish my point.
Yeah, finish. But just answer that point also.
I will. But when it came to BJP's attack on the federal structure, particularly in Delhi, the BJP and the Congress were seen distributing laddus. When 20 of our MLAs were disqualified on completely fabricated charges, the Congress and the BJP were distributing laddus outside the election commission.
The question
when
is
the
about
bureaucrats
the Congress,
went on a strike, and when the Supreme Court judgment came in, the Congress party was in bed with the BJP and they did not support us. The fact is that the Congress party's irrelevance in national politics is directly proportional to its ego and arrogance. The more they become irrelevant, the more the increase in the ego and the arrogance, and they must realize that they must now learn to play second fiddle when it comes to strong regional players. Number two, it was when a Nitish Kumar, who was at one point a friend of ours, could make a phone call to Mr. Kejriwal and seek support for his candidate. Why can't Mr. Gandhi? I mean, we can't go with the BJP. BJP is a divisive party. We don't share the same ideology. We will never be seen with somebody who subscribes to Nathuram Godse's ideology. But even then, at least Nitish Kumarji made that phone call.
You made your point.
What was Mr. Gandhi's problem?
You're talking about
why this hubris, arrogance and ego?
So you're basically saying, JV, that common decency has trumped a decision that may have been based on ideology, because there have been extravagant claims. But I just want to point out that I asked both Javeer and Raghav, I asked both of you questions about each other's parties, but both of you have also used that to attack the BJP and take examples, because right now, no matter where anyone stands, the BJP is having the last laugh. You can say that it has no indications or it's not a pathway to what happens in 2019. But Sambit has a big smile on his face. Sambit, respond.
No, Shiv, I was thinking that let my two good brothers, Raghav and Javeer, have the say of the day. Let me be amused by their duel. I think that's what happened today in the parliament. That is what has been happening. And I would say that before even the conception, the Mahagathbandhan idea is aborted today. It is abortion of Mahagathbandhan, what we all visualize today, and that's the reason as to why we are debating the election of a deputy chairperson in Rajya Sabha. Otherwise, a non-debatable subject. You have been into journalism since years altogether.
It would have been irrelevant.
I would not say irrelevant. It's a very important constitutional position.
But not indicative of
something bigger. It is generally not debated because these issues are generally very juiceless, and people say these are not to be debated. We are debating it because of the cry, the war cry that these so-called components of Mahagathbandhan had been giving, that come what way, we all will stand together and fight against Modi. The two things in succession which has happened recently, the no confidence motion and today's deputy chairman's election. In both these, despite the fact that the opposition, including Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party, had been trying its best to show that the Bharatiya Janata Party can be renegated to a third position, to a second position, what happened is ultimately these are the very people who fell down with their face on the ground. Remember, Shiv, during the no confidence motion, Sonia ji was saying that we have the numbers. We have the numbers. What happened to them?
No, that's a fair point. But Javeer, I'm coming to you, Raghav. I'm just going in an order here so we can get everybody's voice equally. Javeer, isn't this precisely what the BJP wants? I'm genuinely asking, isn't this what the BJP wants? This crossfire, which is basically attrition. The Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party are damaging each other. There could be other parties like the Aam Aadmi Party, and there could be ideological differences. It could be a different issue on which you disagree. The BJP gains, Javeer. What's the point? If there's like a bigger game for 2019, isn't this damaging and isn't this benefiting the BJP?
Shiv, two answers. Firstly, if what happens in Rajya Sabha is the barometer of opposition unity, then JDU,
surely it is some barometer, Javeer. Surely it is some barometer.
No. At least hear me out. if it is a barometer, then JDU didn't vote for, being in NDA, didn't vote for their vice presidential candidate. BJD and TRS, would they have voted if it was a BJP candidate in this election? The Shiv Sena didn't vote for BJP or abstained from in the no confidence motion. Point one. Point number two, I thought my friend Raghav was very good with numbers. Aam Aadmi Party, after losing deposits in Punjab and Gujarat, is giving sermons to Indian National Congress of being a second fiddle. I am sorry. And he forgotten in 2013, Congress supported AAP to be backstabbed by Aam Aadmi Party, and they backstabbed people of Delhi. One written choice. And number three, what is the true barometer? 28 bypolls have happened since 2014. Whenever UPA wins, my friend Sambit says this is no referendum on opposition unity. When opposition wins in Phulpur, Kairana, then he says it's not.
So
but when they win a 245 member election in Rajya Sabha, it suddenly becomes a verdict of Mahagathbandhan.
I'm just going to Raghav first because Raghav, respond because there is an issue also of the nature of the divergence here. He took the example of the JDU, etc., but the nature of the divergence here is also under question. Raghav, respond.
Well, you know, first of all, I'm going to say something which both my friends Jaivir and Mr. Patra won't like, but truth is bitter. The fact is that the Bharatiya Janata Party wants Mr. Gandhi to be the face of the Congress party and be the face of opposition so that it becomes Modi versus Rahul. You know why? Because Mr. Gandhi is a convenient opposition for Mr. Modi. In fact, I'll go to the extent of saying that Mr. Gandhi is Mr. Modi's biggest asset. And it is because they pit Mr. Gandhi against Mr. Modi that they gain this advantage. They will never make this a Modi versus Kejriwal or a Modi versus Mamata Banerjee or a Modi versus Mayawati. Because in Delhi they lost, in Bengal they lost. They only want Mr. Gandhi versus Mr. Modi because that suits them. And Mr. Gandhi is the biggest asset of Mr. Modi. On the flip side is, that the Congress party which becomes irrelevant from time to time and is getting irrelevant, the BJP does everything possible to make it more relevant. If you study closely the BJP's last 4 years of political activities, you will find that the BJP has done everything possible to make Congress more relevant. So that these strong regional players don't take stage. Secondly, Shiv, let me just finish briefly. One more point. I must also point out that when Mr. Kejriwal, and this is straight to the Congress, when Mr. Kejriwal sat on a satyagraha at the LG's residence for 9 long days, every political party except the BJP and the Congress supported us. In fact, JDU and Shiv Sena also came out in our support. But the Congress party did not.
But we've
Why?
Seen how the
because the Congress party is in bed with the BJP when it comes to Aam Aadmi Party. Both Congress and BJP fear the Aam Aadmi Party and therefore they never support us. Not even when it comes to questions of federal structure.
No, my God,
and that shows Congress's arrogance
you
and
have
ego.
been accused of using selective barometers and that this can't be a referendum or anything. Explain why you think what happened today is definitely an indication of unity and the so-called castle in the air of the Mahagathbandhan.
So it doesn't take much.
And the specific allegations made by both Raghav and
It doesn't take much rocket science to understand what's happening behind the screens. Remember, to cut the long shot of it, the issue is Congress party today is a political untouchable. No one wants to touch politically the Congress party because of the very fact that they know that they will drown politically if Rahul becomes one of their rallying points. And that's the reason as to why the Aam Aadmi Party wants to distance itself from the Congress. And that's the reason as to why TDP and Trinamool Congress and the others, despite the fact that some of them may have supported Rahul's party today, but they don't want openly to see that the leadership of Mr. Rahul Gandhi is the one which leads them in 2019. Mamata as well as Chandrababu Naidu and others have spoken about it amply a number of times. This is about the Congress party. It is irrelevant. Secondly, as far as the Aam Aadmi Party accusing that we want the contest to be Modi versus Mr. Rahul Gandhi because
and not anybody else.
And not Mr. Modi versus Kejriwal. It was there, Mr. Modi versus Kejriwal, if you would remember the famous election in Banaras.
It was there in Delhi.
Sir, I did not speak when you were speaking, sir. Let's have some sanity in the debate. Let's not speak over each other. Sir, let's not speak over each other. Mr. Chadha, I did not speak when you were speaking. Let us not have a cat fight over here. Thank you.
I'm coming to you after that.
Raghav, I did not shout when you were speaking. You have to allow others to speak. You have to be tolerant.
I'm coming to the both of you. Everyone gets a chance here on India Today.
Remember, it was Modi versus Kejriwal. Kejriwal in Banaras, and we saw as to what kind of defeat Mr. Kejriwal had, despite the kind of dip that he took in the green towel in Ganga also. We saw all that thing. But coming to the most important issue, remember, these are political parties, the Congress, the Aam Aadmi Party, etc., etc. They take every step, जो हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, फूक फूक के कदम रखते हैं. Both their steps, they wanted to go into a no confidence motion because they wanted to show something before the 2019 election. They wanted to come up with this contest over here in the Rajya Sabha because they wanted to showcase something to the people of India before 2019. In both the instances, because of the fact that they don't have a credible leadership, they fell. They fell. The opposite to what they wanted to show happened today. They thought they had the numbers in Rajya Sabha and they would win and they would say, look, we are the ones who are going to be winner in 2019 because we have a formidable force, and that was broken. So
basically, Jaiveer, I mean, to distill that point, and I know you already have a response, is that the Congress can't pick and choose what it chooses to be a barometer with less than a year to go for 2019 because everything is indicative. That's what Sambit says. Respond to that.
No, see, Shiv, maybe my friend Sambit didn't hear my point. There's a saying was sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Whenever out of 28 by-polls, BJP loses 23 and then they dismiss the opposition unity, and today they have won a Rajya Sabha deputy chairman election, suddenly he's commenting on opposition unity. So let's have a fair rule on that. So that is a big indicator. So let's take both by its stride. Point number one. Point number two, if you see the track record from 2014 onwards, I was with the JDU spokesperson, Mr. KC Tyagi. I can quote him. He said, if the candidate would have been from Samajwadi Party or NCP, maybe we would have supported them. You know, so that brings me to can Shiv Sena, PDP,
Vandana Chauhan, they could have had it.
Sambit, I didn't interrupt you.
No, of course it did not. It was just
so why didn't you have your own BJP candidate?
No problem.
Were you supporting BJP for JDU for what they did in Bihar Shelter Home?
Just a second, JV, that is not the issue. You said that if we had an NCP candidate, we would have been victorious.
That is the issue.
Now the question is the NCP was supposed to have a candidate called as Vandana Chauhan. They withdrew.
Why did TDP win the Public Account Committee election, defeating you, your ally?
Okay, no, these are all fair questions from both sides. I just want to take it a little broader than the nitty-gritties of the actual election and the candidate selection in this deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha election. Raghav, I want to come to you on this point because both of the others have spoken right now. I want to ask a bigger question because not all of our viewers, many people are not going to be tracking the little nitty-gritties of every single political machination that's happening in the three parties. The question people will be wondering is, are the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party able to bury their differences before 2019? Or is this such a visceral opposition that you enjoy between the both of you that nothing can happen? Surely you're united by the one mission to throw out the Modi government. But if you can't keep your differences aside, what's going to happen? That's the question being asked by many.
Three things. One is that as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, we are equidistant when it comes to the BJP and the Congress. We are at the same distance, at an arm's length distance from both of them. We don't want any association with any of them. But yes, when you talk about collective opposition or the opposition unity to pose a formidable challenge to Mr. Modi, as a student of politics, I can say this, that the answer to Mr. Modi and the NDA is not a Congress-led opposition, but a non-Congress opposition.
So that splits the whole idea anyway.
When you look at strong regional players, whether in Bengal, UP, Delhi, Punjab, etc., these are strong regional players which will come together and pose a formidable challenge to Mr. Modi. One. Number two, it is silly. It is absolutely silly to compare the election of the deputy chairperson of Rajya Sabha with the mood of the nation. There is no need to extrapolate the Rajya Sabha election to the mood of the nation, because today's election only shows the ego and the arrogance of the grand old party, which is slowly becoming irrelevant in national politics and nothing else.
Okay, yeah.
But the disenchantment with Mr. Modi and the NDA on the ground by and a disenchantment among the people, among Indians, is very much there.
So then it's going to be clear that there are going to be more than one Mahagathbandhan. So there is no
that awaits
there
the
is no
Bharatiya
single
Janata Party.
Mahagathbandhan and that benefit the BJP. Sambit answer. Then I'll go to you, Jaiveer. Last word.
Ironically, Mr. Raghav Chadha said that they are equidistant from the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party. But if you would rewind the tape, just rewind the tape, and you will see that Mr. Chadha had said, look, the Congress Party, we even supported you way back in when we had won the elections. We formed the government with you. But you uncourteous people, you did not even have the courtesy of calling us back. A telephone call when we were sitting in a dharna. You did not even feel that we should call you. Sir, let me complete. Raghav, I did not speak. Raghav, you are an erudite speaker. I do not expect this arrogance out of you, Raghav.
Okay, Raghav,
I did not interject when you were speaking. I did not interject when you were speaking. This is highly unfair.
Samit answer. Samit, complete your answer.
So look at the oxymoron in the statement of the Aam Aadmi Party.
Raghav, hold on. Let Samit finish. I'll come to you. I'll come to you. Okay, you made that stipulation. Okay, Samit, finish.
Look at the oxymoron nature of the statement of the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. At one end, he's coaxing the Congress party that we were with you all the while, but you did not even have the courtesy of extending your support when needed. You could not even call us, and then he tries to be equidistant. So this false equidistantship does not matter to us. It's amusing. Secondly, what is more important? The egos play between all these political parties. You give me a phone call, then I would think about it. Who becomes Modi versus Rahul or Modi versus Kejriwal? Is this the way country is going to face the election in 2019? No.
Okay.
And lastly, it is not the mood of the nation, of course, that we are trying to gauze in this deputy chairman election, sir. It's the mood of the Mahagathbandhan, quote unquote, and the mood we have seen as to how it is blemished.
So it's not the mood of the nation, it's the mood of the Gathbandhan, and that's something you can't run away from. Jaiveer, last word to you.
I think 2019 election will be fought on people's issue, which will defeat Mr. Anti-Modi policies. That is going to be the true barometer of election. And really, I've had an entertaining time from hearing Raghav again and again irrelevant. Sir, please open an account in any state other than Delhi, then come challenge me. Punjab, Gujarat, you're zero. And you have the audacity to tell us we are
Raghav, don't say
You knew numbers very well.
You should fire your ammunitions at my friend Jaiveer.
Why we didn't visit you in the last?
Okay, I'm out of time, gentlemen.
We are not interested in theatrics.
Raghav, why are you quiet?
Rather than visiting you in the lounge.
I'm out of time. Okay, 10 seconds. Raghav, 10 seconds. Quickly 10 seconds.
Yeah, literally. Look, the limited point I wanted to make was that the Congress party does not even follow and obey basic political courtesy. When somebody supports them on the aspect of federal structure, when somebody supports the presidential candidate, they do not support us.
Okay.
When we supported you 2013,
I am not asking
2013, did you extend any courtesy?
I am asking for basic political courtesy.
Did you show courtesy?
Because we don't have basic political courtesy to offer.
Now
forget magnanimity. And therefore I say
2013 what courtesy did you show?
Mahagathbandhan unity, that's something we can be sure about. Whether this is a referendum on, on the mood of the nation or the Gathbandhan unity, I think the one thing we established today on To The Point is that there isn't going to be one Mahagathbandhan. That's for certain. Everything is still up in the air and things still need to be stitched up if this Mahagathbandhan, as it were, needs to take on the Modi government. Sambit, Raghav, Jaiveer, pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me here on To The Point.